Hey guys. All right. So I okay. I'm gonna confess something. I I got really obsessed with Shark Tank lately, and so I've just been like, because here's one thing. I don't really watch. I try to save a lot of the shows that I'm watching, especially animated shows and stuff. And I try not to watch anything on YouTube. So I'm trying to watch other stuff in between, my life. And so I got really obsessed with Shark Tank. And so um because of that, my YouTube algorithm is just flooded with Shark Tank stuff. And so because of that, I completely didn't see that the death battle came out last week for Buffy versus Blade. So I'm like, and I forgot what I was doing. I was just happened to be scrolling down YouTube the other day, and then I saw that it was out, and I'm like, I'm gonna miss out on so many views. And so, that's on me though. But it is what it is. However, it is out, so I'm gonna watch it now. But yeah. Anyway, I'm actually really excited for this. Only, not I actually don't know a lot about Buffy, but I was alive during its time, and I was completely aware of its, popularity. I think I liked Angel more, um, with, Borealis, is it David Borealis? Um, but, he obviously came from Buffy. And then, Blade, I love I'm pretty sure I watched all 3 movies. I remember the first one very vividly, because I feel like I watched that a couple times. And yeah, Blade's such a badass. Oh, and then if you guys haven't seen Deadpool, crap. Spoiler crap. Sorry. I hope nobody I hope you guys aren't watching me and not knowing other things about other media. I'm so sorry. But anyway, Blade. I saw the original movie, and it was great, fantastic. I'm a really huge fan of Wesley Snipes. Um, at least his acting. I know there might be some stuff that may have happened behind the scenes, but either way, I like him. He's really cool. Great actor. Anyway, so yeah. Oh, and then somebody in the comments told me that this is a live action fight, which we haven't seen since Nightwing versus Daredevil. That's kind of exciting. So now, in terms of their stats, I'm really curious. Obviously, Blade is a badass, and Buffy by her own right. I'm trying to think because I don't know too much about Buffy, but I remember she having superhuman strength. So I'm gonna be really curious because Blade is a vampire, or half a vampire. I don't remember his story, but he has vampire-like abilities. um, and he has weapons that can kill vampires. So definitely curious to see what he can do. I think Buffy fights with like stakes, right? Um, so I'm curious to see her ability. Though I feel like if I remember correctly, she has like natural strength of some kind. But we'll see. Anyway, kind of excited to watch. I have no idea who's going to win. I'm going to have to definitely listen to their stats. So we'll see. All right, guys, if you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe. It does help me out. All right, guys, let's get started. All right.
Blade versus Buffy.
The Daywalker versus the Vampire Slayer.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Yeah.
They are known by many names. Revenant, Vortalok, Nosferatu.
Vampires. When the moon is out and the night is young, these undead demons are out for blood.
Fitting then that the greatest foe of those who stalk the night is the one who can walk the day, Blade.
Is that really his
Forgot he was in the
costume?
comics too.
Ah,
Or
now
he's a
there's
comic book
man
character
who
originally.
doesn't file his taxes. Blade is one of the coolest superheroes ever, and
Yeah.
basically kickstarted the comic book movie craze.
And yet, he is also seemingly the only one who knows or cares that in the world of Marvel, vampires exist? Seriously, nobody talks about this.
Blade doesn't need anyone's help. He'll just aura farm by himself.
Even Blade's birth was hardcore. Just as the young Eric Brooks' mother was in labor, her attending doctor turned out to be the vampire.
He likes I Am Legend. I thought he meant the. I thought that wasn't. Isn't there a movie called I Am Legend? Maybe that's a person. I don't know. Oh, he's over 100. I did not know that. Okay. Interesting.
Vampire Deacon Frost.
And he drank her blood right before she gave birth.
This infused Eric with Frost's vampiric blood, turning him half human, half vampire. A Dampier.
Giving him a ton of vampy powers, but none of their weaknesses like garlic, holy water, or sunlight.
Eric would hone these abilities under the tutelage of vampire hunter Jamal Afari, sharpening him into a blade that would rape the vampire plague for good.
Blade is strong and fast enough to toss around 1,000-pound demons and cut bullets out of the air. He can keep up with Wolverine, who can deflect Cyclops' light-speed optic blasts. And his Kevlar DuPont armor helped him tank the top of Count Von Stadt's castle exploding.
He can heal small wounds immediately and sniff out the supernatural with his hypersenses. Also, his fangs can drain his victims of magical energies.
After studying the ways of Hong Kong Kung Fu movies,
that.
Blade became a master martial artist. Ah yes, the Rufus from Street Fighter School of Kung Fu.
While the only martial art he's been stated to know is Krav Maga, we know he's mastered more. So for the full scope of his martial arts ability, we'll examine the Blade movies as performed by Wesley Snipes.
By looking at Snipes' training and choreography, we know Blade uses Kung Fu, Capoeira, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Eskrima, kickboxing, Shotokan karate, and Hapkido. Add on Blade's knack for stealthy takedowns, and I guess you could call him Marvel's Batman.
Blade's training progressed smoothly until Afari was attacked and had his blood drained by Dracula. Seriously, Avengers, Dracula is real. Why aren't you doing anything about this? He's right there!
Forced to murk his surrogate dad, Blade would have to wage his war alone.
Nursing a wound within him that would never heal. A hole that could never be filled.
Not with that attitude. Blade took a page out of the Book of Boomstick and tried filling that hole with every kind of weapon imaginable. He's got so many, they're his apartment decorations.
Gun?
Handguns, assault rifles, and explosives make up the brunt of his firepower. And he enjoys getting up close and personal with his dual acid-etched titanium katanas.
Speaking of glorious Nippon steel, he's got a sword made out of adamantium.
Specifically, secondary adamantium. A variant of the metal that is mass-producible.
It might not be quite as strong as Cap's shield, but it can cut right through heavy hitters like Ultron and the Hulk.
Naturally, Blade has even more swords. His Atlantean ones can slice through magical enchantments. The Word Sword can harm intangible demons, and the Justiciar can slay fallen angels.
Yeah, he's got some weird stuff he can pull out of his ass, like a Hellfire shotgun that burns your soul, or hypodermic needles filled with vampire blood. Seems kinda dumb to turn people into vampires, but it does make them more vulnerable to Blade's arsenal.
All that pales in comparison to the
smart, actually. Yeah, turn you into a vampire to kill you easy.
Breathing gun. It is a living firearm that hisses in the presence of demonic forces. Its sentient bullets chase its victims down. The wounds they cause cannot be healed. And if they get lodged in your body, they'll slowly devour you from the inside out. They can even hurt Hell Lords and even greater threats like the Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Blade took everything he had and fought his one-man war for almost 100 years.
He's battled hordes of vampires while skydiving, infiltrated the Pentagon, and even took on Spider-Men like Miles Morales, who could absorb the energy of a bomb that could destroy Harlem. Blade's even bested the Spirit of Vengeance, Zarathos.
And while he occasionally allied with teams like the Avengers, he prefers to work alone.
I probably would too if they only cared about me when I was helping them.
He fought a horde of killer geese with Deadpool.
Vampires.
That, and Blade is scared of what he might do if he loses control, because he does have one classic vampire weakness: a thirst for blood.
Oh, that's right.
Even more so after he had a daughter, Brielle, whom he avoided for fear of endangering her. If his bloodlust does overwhelm him, he will enter a berserker rage, skyrocketing his strength at the cost of his sanity.
Though it does make him even better at killing vamps. He's made a cottage industry out of whooping Dracula's ass.
Dracula is unsurprisingly powerful, capable of summoning a thunderstorm that covered all of Boston with a wave of his hand.
Drac apparently didn't hold a grudge though, since he eventually made Blade the sheriff of Vampirsk, a vampire nation in the ruins of Chernobyl.
Oh, wow.
Amazingly, Dracula has even given Blade some of his own blood, which allows him to shapeshift into multiple forms, like a wolf, a horde of bats, or a cloud of mist.
Interesting.
So he can force his way inside your body and blow you up from the inside out, Ant-Man style.
What is with you with the Ant-Man? Blade's hatred of vampires is only matched by his hatred of himself. However, when Brielle showed signs of vampiric powers, Blade finally found a reason to reconnect with his daughter.
Wow, that's cool.
Training her the same way Afari trained him a century prior.
Even after Blade was possessed by the first vampire ever and tried to take over the planet, Brielle put her dad's teachings to the test, saving both him and the world.
And proving that Blade's lonely war need not be so lonely anymore. With his daughter at his side, and also this plant creature pet called Boy Thing, let Marvel's vampires beware.
That's what Boy Thing is.
For should they indulge their unnatural urges, they will be sure to meet their end at the tip of his blade.
Damn.
In every generation, there is a chosen one. She alone will stand against the vampires, the demons, and the forces of darkness. She is the Slayer.
For thousands of years, a new Slayer would be granted incredible powers and was destined to die young in battle against evil.
Oh,
passing
really?
Their powers on to the next Slayer, and the next, and so on. That is, until the newest Slayer would change everything. Buffy Ann Summers.
Not exactly the first girl you'd think is the savior of humanity, but
Okay, let me read some of this because I don't know much about her. Love interest, Pike, Angel, Riley, Spike. That's count at least 2. What? Oh, she likes James Spader. That's cool. I recently found out who he was like a year ago.
Buffy's only goals in life were, in her own words, graduate from high school, go to Europe, marry Christian Slater, and die.
But that would all change when the Watcher Merrick appeared and revealed her destiny.
Like, total bummer.
Merrick trained Buffy in the arts of vampire slang, and she became so efficient that she burned down her school.
Oh, wow.
Forcing her and her mom to move to Sunnydale, California to start a new life, far away from any more bloodsuckers and bad makeup.
Unfortunately, small problem, Sunnydale just so happened to be right on top of a hellmouth, where the boundary between Earth and Hell is permeable.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
That sounds like the Valley, all right. Along with new Watcher Giles, Wallflower Willow, part-time bad boy, part-time sad boy Angel, magical retcon sister Dawn, and Xander. Buffy and her Scooby gang would battle a never-ending series of monsters.
And we mean truly never-ending. Sure, there's the TV show, but Buffy has also been slaying vampires across video games, comics,
really?
and 128 novels. Tens of thousands of pages of Buffy lore you've never heard of.
Oh,
But
nice.
we're just crazy enough to speed read them all.
Buffy carries a variety of anti-vampire weaponry. There's wooden stakes, of course, sometimes dipped in Gorgon venom that can turn into stone. Though she's also experienced with axes,
mace.
swords, quarterstaffs, holy water, just about anything.
You said it.
Oops,
When she
dagger.
fought an ancient demon unable to be killed by any weapon forged in his time, Buffy introduced his stupid ass to the 20th century.
She's also a master of Aikido, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, karate, kung fu, wushu, tai chi, kendo, capoeira, and taekwondo.
Buffy apparently thinks Hong Kong's kung fu movie masters could learn a thing or two.
No kidding. Thanks to her Slayer senses, her reflexes are fine-tuned enough to dodge close-range Gatling gun fire, lightning bolts from the sky, and even beams of light. She's kept up with another Slayer, Faith, who can dodge laser beams from point-blank range.
Buffy's strong enough to bend rebar, punch this 4.5-ton bat monster into the air, and, smash hard enough to tear apart a building.
And despite her lack of armor, she can survive massive explosions, like the one that destroyed Cephalian's lair.
I knew she was strong with them.
She can even fight blindfolded, but if she is injured, she heals fast enough to be totally fine by the next episode.
One time, Angel sucked out almost all of the blood from her body, and she survived. doubly impressive since Angel's blood draining also drains magical energy.
Yeah, Buffy's own magic makes her weirdly resilient to esoteric attacks, like when she expelled this misty shadow demon trying to possess her body, or when she resisted her soul being ripped apart and scattered across time.
Or that time she jumped into a vat of boiling liquid so hot it could reduce people to skeletons, and she was just fine.
She might not show physical scars, but she sure has emotional ones. Being the Slayer put a huge burden on Buffy's life.
Unable to live normally, she felt isolated, forced to internalize the trauma she faced on a daily basis. Sure, she had friends, but they couldn't understand her unique struggle.
Like when Angel turned evil after he took her virginity and tried to destroy the world. That must be one of those metaphors.
Sometimes the worst enemies are the ones you can't fight and who don't fight back.
Made even worse by her having all the memories of the other Slayers bouncing around in her head, dating back to the Stone Age.
Buffy has dreamt of every battle a Slayer has ever fought, and can call upon those skills in a fight, even subconsciously.
But this includes the memories of their deaths. Countless women violently dying young, a reminder of her inevitable fate.
A fate that came to pass when she fought the Hell God Glory. After leaping into Glory's reality-ending interdimensional hole,
a glory hole, if you will,
Buffy sacrificed herself to save the universe, dying a hero's death.
It appears my glory hole joke was poorly timed.
Finally freed of her unfair earthly responsibilities, Buffy's soul ascended to heaven in perfect bliss. Until her friends brought her back to life in the agony of existence! This
of course.
Absolutely crushed Buffy, and ironically, annihilated her will to live.
Oh, that's rough, Buffy. But with the show renewed for more seasons, she had to nut up and continue her endless crusade against all things Spirit Halloween.
Buffy's battled for 48 hours straight, defeated vampires immune to traditional vampiric weaknesses, and destroyed the Sword of Sano, which caused the Great Hanshin earthquake.
And of course, both Buffy and her friends have defeated countless immensely powerful demons.
Like the Queller Demon, which arrived as a meteor and caused the Tunguska explosion, which destroyed over 2,000 square kilometers of forest. Or the Sorrow Demon, which caused a storm that blanketed Los Angeles.
She's also a match for Angel, who survived a blast that could rupture a continental shelf, and took hits from Whistler, whose magic contained a bomb that could vaporize London.
She even faced off against the First Evil, literally the embodiment of all evil that predates reality itself.
Wow.
Forced into battles against stronger and stronger
Looks like I never watched a lot of the show.
Clearly needed something to even the odds. The Slayer safe.
It's actually a Bardiche.
Yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna say it. This thing is bullshit.
Containing the essence of Buffy's Slayer powers and created to defeat ancient demons, the scythe can deflect magical projectiles and slice through just about anything. Ghosts, magic, even space itself, destabilizing reality in the process.
Even Silas, the devourer of worlds. Kinda like Galactus, but instead of chomping on planets, he eats the multiverse. And there goes his head.
The scythe is easily the most powerful tool in her arsenal. In effect, attaining it completed Buffy, as though it were a piece of her she never knew was missing. With the scythe, Buffy was finally whole. Being the Slayer was no longer a burden, but a purpose.
And by sharing her Slayer powers with thousands of girls around the world, they all teamed up and kicked the first evil's ass.
Suddenly, the always isolated Buffy had thousands of shoulders to lean on, a sisterhood of Slayers.
And thousands more reasons for any wannabe demon conqueror to stay away from Earth. Because unless you want to get your blood all over her stylish yet affordable boots, you'll steer clear of Buffy, the Vampire Slayer.
Wow. That's crazy. Okay. I mean, I find it interesting that they talked a lot about so obviously they talked that they said something like Blade can like not just drink your blood but drink like your energy or your soul or something, but apparently Buffy had that and she survived. But I don't know how that would work in like in an actual battle. However, that axe at the end is like super powerful. The fact that they can cut space, I'm sure it can cut Blade. So, because I was trying to think of like what weaknesses the Blade actually have, because they didn't talk about his weakness, right? So, but Buffy's got a huge arsenal of stuff, And technically, at the end of the day, he is technically a vampire, and she's the vampire slayer. Ooh, man. Um, yeah. Based on all what we just heard with Buffy, I feel like Buffy's gonna take this. I'm gonna go with Buffy. Let's see what happens. I've already lost track of how many I've watched already on this. No, like I remember I missed one. That's all I remember. The Godzilla versus Hulk. So we'll see. We'll see how we go this way. Let's check it out.
It's time for a live action death battle!
Yeah, live action! Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. No, damn. They're all vampires there. Or there's some vampires there. Most of them are vampires. Okay.
We were kings long before they had a name for kings.
Oh, I realized I didn't have subtitles. I'm so sorry, guys.
Starved, hunted, forgotten. You have waited long enough. Tonight, we remember who we were. Tonight,
And it's a big setup.
what was always ours. Tonight, we feast.
Daywalker.
And she is just the start.
Damn. That's cool. Damn. Oh, wow. Damn. Yeah, those are stakes at least. I do remember her using her stakes. I do remember that from the show. Oh, nice. Not the suplex. Oh, wow. Oh, even the DJ. Oh, damn, she got bit.
Wait!
Oh, damn.
Shoot's just a kid!
Not anymore.
Damn. Yeah. Probably have to be in swordsmanship, but everything else, I don't know. Forgot, does she also knows different ways of fighting.
You out your damn mind?
Like, yeah, she kind of is. She's a vampire slayer. Oh, wow. Oh, damn. How'd she get in there?
Amateur hour. There's always some motherfucker trying to ice skate uphill.
Oh, wow. There we go, for X. Oh, damn. Oh, dang. Oh, yeah, that bullet thing is crazy. Yeah, I forgot. It goes to her target. Dang it.
Another sword.
I see you cut through adamantium.
Bring it on.
Oh, whoa. That scared me for a sec. I even tilted back. Nice. Damn. Oh, wow. Damn. It was a lot more graphic than I thought it was going to be. I don't know why I didn't consider the graphicness of it. Wow.
Like you got ahead of yourself.
90s puns.
KO!
Yay!
Blade tenued no longer. I'm surprised. I figured with Blade's many years of comic book history, he'd have the edge.
Believe it or not, Buffy is actually in more comics
wow.
than Blade.
Really? Man, Blade can't catch a break.
Let's break this down into 4 categories. First up, stats. Buffy's lifted much heavier things and survived more
really?
significant explosions.
Like, sure, Blade's strong and all, but he isn't literally fucking buildings apart like Buffy.
Scaling to the monsters they fought, compare Dracula creating a storm that covered Boston to the Sorrow Demon creating a storm that covered Los Angeles, a city over 5 times larger.
Oh, wow.
You might be able to compare Blade to Spider-Man like Miles, who absorbed a bomb that could blow up Harlem, but that's significantly weaker than Whistler containing a blast that could wipe out London. They could both dodge light beams, beams, but that doesn't keep Buffy from taking the overall edge in stats.
Blade's used to being the odd man out though, so his versatility is just as important.
With Blade's numerous powers and massive arsenal, he certainly could have overwhelmed the more straightforward Buffy.
Machine guns and magic swords are generally gonna beat out crossbows and morning stars. Not to mention, he actually wears armor.
Also, Blade's faster healing factor and immunity to traditional vampire weaknesses kept Buffy on the back foot for a time. Blade wins versatility.
But when it comes to skill, Buffy's got plenty of experience fighting armed opponents barehanded.
Both of them were masters of a similar number of martial arts.
And Blade has been kicking vampire ass for a century, way longer than Buffy's even been alive.
While Blade may have more personal experience, Buffy's ability to draw on Slayer battles dating back to the Stone Age, at least 40 times older than Blade, gives her the superior skill. Even then, they both had weapons and abilities so powerful they could end the fight instantly, regardless of all else.
They're trump cards. Fortunately for Buffy, she actually countered almost all of what Blade could throw at her.
Withstanding Blade draining her energy with his bite? Check.
Resisting the Hellfire shotgun destroying her soul? Check.
Preventing Blade turning to mist and exploding her from the inside out? Check.
Meanwhile, Blade had no way to survive, say, Buffy's Gorgon venom turning him to stone.
And even with the deadly and just plain gross breathing gun, Blade did not have anything as potent as the Slayer sight. It could easily deflect the breathing gun's bullets back at him, or use its space-cutting ability to slice through his unbreakable adamantium sword.
Don't believe us? Even Wolverine's adamantium skeleton was cut in half when a portal closed on top of it.
Oh, wow.
That's the same kind of thing.
And Wolverine's beta adamantium skeleton is a much tougher version of the same metal.
Oh, and since the Scythe could kill Silas, a multiverse-devouring god, I think you could take down Blade with a big enough swing.
Giving Buffy the final advantage over the Daywalker.
Really thought Blade had a chance, but Buffy sure put a damn fear on things.
The winner is Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Nice.
Next time on
who's next?
Death Battle.
Oh. Really?
Subscribe and join
Oh,
us.
wow. Interesting. I have played Final Fantasy 16 actually. Interesting to pick Clive. Probably just because of they have a big arsenal, I guess, and maybe. I don't know, because Dante's a vampire, Clive is they have a word for the people that have the things inside of him. God, the name escapes me. I have such a bad memory. Anyway, whatever. It's a fight scene. It's a fight. we get to watch it. That's what matters. Cool. So yeah. Just like they were talking about everything in Buffy's thing they said, I'm like, wait, isn't that like a counter to the Blade? Isn't that like 2 or 3 things they mentioned? So yeah, I'm not shocked. But damn, Buffy was crazy strong. I figured. Really good fight scenes. I really like the choreo was really good. I really liked that. I love the fact that they were fighting other vampires in the beginning. That was really cool. The only thing I didn't like is that it felt really long. Like it was a long setup to that start of the fight. Like they could have skipped out 30 seconds of it and it would have been just fine. Like a lot of us are watching it just for the fight, so they're gonna skip that. But I get it though. I mean, they really wanted to. You know what? Now that Death Battle has gone solo, they definitely. I think they just want to showcase as much as they could. So I get it, and overall, I still liked it though. It was really great. Awesome! I got another one right. Yay! All right, guys, that's it for this one. See you guys next time. Bye.